In 2011, at the Martin Luther King Day Parade, I gave Greg Bernstein the Minority Report. Governor O'Malley was marching, and I got it on film. That was part of the evidence that y'all destroyed. It's called Keeping the Dream Alive. On February the 2nd, 2011, my mother died from cancer. On February the 7th, y'all locked me up so I couldn't go to my mother's funeral. Y'all caused me a lot of emotional distress. Success is the best form of revenge, and I'm successful. I established Shorty's Underground Ribs in 1997, all right? I own all shares of Shorty's. Movie, documentary, everything I've been doing is documented, covered under the First Amendment of the Constitution. I'm also a precedent-setting case. I'm a precedent-setting case. Remember the book Michelle Alexander wrote, The New Face of Old Jim Crow? Well, in that book, she neglected to add a case, State of Illinois versus Dwayne Davis. In 1986, I turned in Guns and Drugs to end the war on drugs. All right, 1986. And I had a 1986 Jailhouse Diary that Greg Bernstein seen. I had a 1986 diary that Scott Shellenberger destroyed. I got a 1986 diary copy of it. That's from 1986. Fired County Attorney McElroy loses unemployment compensation appeal. That was the corruption then. Few systematic corruption cases made against cops. And Trump is protecting that. That's what this movie and documentary was about, the war on drugs, mass incarceration in your prison industry. In 1986, I went home on vacation and came back on probation. You see that? That's the Waukegan New Sun. The Waukegan New Sun, the Baltimore Sun, the Chicago Tribune, all right, wrote stories that, like Emmett Till, said I committed a crime I didn't, and I didn't commit that crime. That's the United States Senate. Like I said, in 2008. On January the 2nd, 2008, I started this documentary, and I contacted the Postal Service. And everything from 2008 to now, y'all got to turn over. It's evidence. President Obama asked for an investigation. Nobody never did the investigation. All right, President Obama and Tom Perez know about this. This is the grand jury, Judge Bell. Private citizens' right to access the grand jury. And I'm going to go to the grand jury. That's Judge Bell. That's the Maryland Black Caucus. And these are the cases. That's Al Redmer and Governor Hogan. We talk about $250 million in intellectual property theft. The money behind mass incarceration. That's Tom Perez and me. That's Bryant Frosh and me. You feel me? He works for Governor Westmore now. He used to work for Governor O'Malley. Known me for a long time, for over 20 years. That's Xavier Conway, the clerk of the court. All right. And this is Shorty. All right. Dwayne Shorty Davis has his hands in a whole lot of shit. I'm a Baltimore City hero, and I'm famous for toilets. That's Pat Young and Kathy. That's Baltimore County and the state representatives, and I asked for a trial. Community rallies behind activists and business owner after theft of grill. Feeds Baltimore. I feed Baltimore. I'm the cook in Baltimore. From 1997 to now, Shorty's Underground.